it do, folks? It is your boy Charles Younger here with Maryland Live at the Voice of College Football. Along here with Professor G, the OG, the MLB OG, rocking the Terps gear. I see
Old school
Mark.
Terps gear.
That's,
That's right.
that's
Just
Mark with
just
a
to let
K,
the
Gray with
let
an
the
A.
people
Mark
know,
Gray, old school.
I've been here for a long time.
Mhm.
I was here before a different symbol was representing for the athletic department, so had to break it out and go old school, OG, old school, and we got about 7 weeks to football's week
Yeah,
zero.
the season is fastly approaching. This
Right,
year is flying by. It's July. Let's say July 11th. We missed last week because of the holiday, but hopefully everyone had a great Fourth. Blah, blah, blah. Hopefully no one blew up their fingers with, with their fireworks out there.
right.
But yeah, the season is fastly is approaching rapidly. I mean, you can't like this time. They say time flies, and they are not lying when they say time flies because Maryland football. I think their first game is against FAMU August 30th, so a little bit over a month and a half there at home at SECU Stadium in College Park, broadcasted live on the Big Ten Network.
Sam, you coming to get a check, huh?
Yeah, FAMU is coming to get paid.
Are
Hey,
they
you
bringing the
know,
band? Are they bringing their band?
I'm sorry,
Do
did I
we
say
know?
FAMU? I didn't say FAMU. I said FAU. Excuse me, not FAMU.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that.
That was
There's a
a slipping
Freudian
tongue
slip.
there.
Okay.
Freudian slip. Yeah, I don't know. I see FA and my mind automatically goes to FAMU with all the work we did with HBCU stuff
Yeah.
this past weekend. But yeah, sorry about that. FAU, Florida Atlantic University, will be open this season in College Park at SECU Stadium. That's so hard to say sometimes. They change all these
CQ.
stadium. Yeah,
Just got
CQ.
CQ.
CQ,
Yeah, that's it.
CQ
CQ.
Stadium.
Yeah.
Like I said,
CQ
broadcasting
Stadium.
live on the Big Ten Network noon. But first things first, Papa, as Biggie would say, we want to talk about another huge addition to the athletic department, and that is Diana Sabo is named senior. Oops, there's a typo there. Senior deputy athletic director to serve under James E. Smith when it comes to running the athletic department. Now, I am not too familiar with this woman, but I have seen, according to her press release here, I read off the first paragraph so you can get people out there listening can get a overview of who she is. Successful veteran Big Ten executive Diana Sabo has been named senior deputy athletic director for the Maryland Athletics by Jim Smith and the Barry P. Gossett, director of athletics. Sabo will oversee the daily operations of the Terrapin Athletic Department. She will be responsible for implementing new strategies and new initiatives, including revenue share management, uh, contract negotiations, football scheduling, creating operating efficiencies, enhancing the overall student athlete experience, and correspondence with the Big Ten Conference. She will officially begin her role in Maryland on July 28th. So basically, she's going to be like a GM. I'm
Yeah, well,
assuming
exactly. That's it.
for the
That's
year.
it. She
Yeah.
is.
Mm,
And she's going to be a bigger role than just a general manager. You know how you have vice president and GM. If you're looking
mhm,
at the infrastructure of a professional organization
mhm,
in this role, it's a big look, man. I mean,
mhm,
first off, I like the fact that she comes with Big Ten experience, and with all.
mhm,
I'm not going to even worry about disrespecting the ACC anymore because I never liked the way that the ACC treated Maryland for the time they were in there. So if their feelings are hurt, their feelings are hurt. But this is a woman that understands to play the role, to be amongst the heavies in college sports consistently, like she has been through the wars in this conference. She's got in my opinion, she has a feel for how the other schools have done it and teams that are more successful than them. So what does she have to work with? And when it says that she's creating operating efficiencies, I
mhm.
think that's where she looks at her program in comparison to the upper tier to see how they're doing things so that she can implement those strategies. Not quite sure that Maryland has leveled up in terms of understanding the conference that you in and how you got to go about certain things. It's no longer you're no longer in the Clampett conference. You know what
Mhm.
I'm Ain't no games on Tobacco Row anymore. You playing with heavyweights. There's a greater intellect in the front offices of these institutions than Maryland had to deal with before. So if you're going to get into the fight, you got to have somebody that knows how to punch for you and with you. And I like these two hires for this program to not only chart the course forward, but understand who they got to beat and know how to beat them from a overall management perspective as it relates to the entire program. I credential wise, I think they have hit 2 home runs with these moves. Now, projections are only as good as when they come out your mouth, but just looking at the apparent competency of the people in the positions that they have right now, first Smith and now Sabo, I think it's game on front office side, which then should make everything easier for, as we want it to be, Mike Loxley to go out there and play the game the way he did when he was at Alabama. It's just that he's at Maryland now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want to talk about her history because she spent the past 2 years at Utah State as their athletic department, and under her tutelage over 2023, 2024, the school had a best 4 Mountain West championships in men's basketball, women's soccer, men's tennis, women's volleyball, and 3 coaches were named conference coach of the year. So
So that
she
means that we need to hire somebody that she knows where some winners are.
Yeah, Utah State might get rated for some talent when it comes to their coaching staff. Because so with James,
Depending on the coach, the
yeah,
area might be a culture shock, but you work on that.
yeah. But I mean, people go. I mean, a lot of people go to Utah State who aren't from Utah because that's the only scholarship they can get. So, but with combination of her and Jim Smith, like their experience of being around winning programs and the fact that Maryland is looking to make that next step to the next level to compete with your Ohio State, your Michigans, etc. And the fact that we just added in all the West Coast teams, all the UCLA, USC's, Oregon's,
Oregon.
and Washington, those schools who've dominated the then Pac-12, which is probably what the Pac-2 now.
They're packed up.
They're packed up and gone.
Gone.
Whoever thought that the Mountain West and the WAC would now be a better conference than the Pac-10, Pac-12, Pac whatever it was at the time. So now the most dominant West Coast conference is probably the WAC, and that is WAC.
I remember that ESPN commercial with Kenny Mayne in it, where he was talking to somebody who was like, "I don't even know who you are anymore." That's where I am with the the packed up conference. And it's not packed because I'm old enough to remember it was the Pac-8, then it was the Pac-10, then it was the Pac-12. Now it's packed up. I'm sorry.
In the restaurant world, we call that 86 the Pac-10.
Well,
done. They're 86. They're done. They're done. Finito. They're swimming with the fishes. So,
yeah, but and again, to your point though, the people that have been brought into our front office, if you will, the Maryland Athletic Department, have worldly kind of experience and have a global perspective, which is one of the big mantras of the university as a whole, but a global perspective on sports in the new millennium. And I think Maryland's probably on a learning curve right now. We may not see the residues of these efforts in its entirety for another 2 to 3 years, but who's to say Buzz Williams can't catch lightning in a bottle for basketball season and you have another one of those Cinderella type runs? Who's to say Maryland doesn't catch lightning in a bottle with the number of transfers that they have that are highly rated? So I mean, we can play the if game right now until toe meets leather on week 0. So I don't think you'll see their imprint. I mean, a lot of people see the hype that goes with administrators getting jobs and being highly touted for their positions and what have you. But the bottom line is you don't see their impact unless in this year, their team gets hot. One of the big teams, and I'm talking about football, men's, women's basketball, and you make a run deeper into your tournament on the college football playoffs, or heck, even in the the college baseball regionals. We've seen that. You and I watched the tournament, covering it for MLB Bro.
we still salty about that game. We
Yes,
got a
we
call
are.
on first base where
That
they said,
was.
"Oh,"
It
but you
was.
know, that was a couple.
Let it go.
There you go. There you go. We should have. That team was loaded. We should have made a run, but had it home game.
You just won't let it go, will you? It's just
No, no,
yeah.
no.
It was
It's,
tough when
it's
I know. But the
yeah.
more to the story, I would expect with the infrastructure changes that you're going to see a lot more of those things, and that's great for the school, and it's definitely going to help the recruiting because a lot of the people that are transferring in right now might be more inclined to make you a destination as opposed to a pit stop, as we've seen in the past. So, I think that administratively the decisions look like they're good on paper. You never know what's going to happen there because they don't influence the outcome of games. Games are what draw revenue, especially when you're winning. And I think that's the bottom line right now. Colleges made the investment in the program, and I think that there's time to take a leap. And again, I've been saying this since we launched, Chuck. Kirk Signetti showed everybody that you can come in and get it done in your first year. And why can't Maryland be like Indiana?
And Maryland does have a better history of being competitive football over the years with the players we have put into the NFL and who've gone on playing Hall of Fame type careers. But it's funny you said something about the transfers because I want to talk about. I want to get the fans to get to know who these transfers are. There's been a lot of moving bodies in the transfer portal this year, but we'll talk about that after
You
this.
can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link, and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact, just like whatever link you use right now. No difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the Voice of College Football.
That is the great Mark Rogers, who is the proprietor, as we sometimes say, the founder of Voice of College Football. Telling
That's
you,
it.
go get that link.
Get a link.
Support the Voice of College Football. All right. Speaking of college football, let's get to know the faces of the 2025 transfers to the University of Maryland. It's been interesting, I would say, all season because we got some good recruits coming in with Lake Washington, the quarterback, who might be the quarterback opening day.
Right.
Bit milestone in baseball. But I think the key thing is how do we replace people being replaced through transfer and through recruiting. How will they fit in this new scheme with Pep Hamilton as the offensive coordinator? I like some of the offensive weapons they brought in. They brought in Jaleel Farouk as a wide receiver. He's a
Right.
senior from Oklahoma, prototypical wide receiver size, 6'1", 208. He didn't have a ton of playing time. He started 36 games, and making 25 starts, 89 receptions for 1,287 yards and 7 TDs in those 36 games. So he hasn't. He's not what he was never the number one guy, but he's definitely seemed like somebody who can probably be a great contributor and a nice, reliable safety net for Washington to throw to out as a wide receiver slot.
Well, that's the thing that I like about Pep Hamilton as a coach is because he knows how to put his players in position with the skill sets that they have to get into open spaces or to just do what they do. In many instances, one-on-one better than the other guy. He's the kind of player that could fit a scheme, and I do believe that Maryland's going to run the football. I think you might look at as even as talented as the quarterbacks are, a 60-40 balance. You know what I'm saying? Where Maryland would really like to average somewhere between, as any team would, 3.5 to 4 yards. And when you get stuffed as they have been traditionally, because the guys up front haven't been able to match up with the guys in front of them, it's taken away and forced Mike Loxley to have to throw the football a lot more. So I put that as a caveat as, hey, I'm really interested more, Chuck, in the beef that they got. You know, the guys up front, you know, they got to get physical and more tough, man. That's
Mm-hmm.
where you win it, man. And you got to come with an attitude and almost an anger and an arrogance about you. And sometimes, man, I quite frankly have seen over the last couple of years, they can be worn down a little bit. I don't want to use a certain P word, but you know where I'm coming from. You gotta, you gotta look the bully in the eye sometimes and not blink. And I think that sometimes Maryland has been up front a little soft, and they blinked a lot in big games, particularly Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, Iowa, Brett Bielema, wherever he's playing, coaching, whether it's in Wisconsin or in Illinois, they out physical Maryland. You know, that to me is what it's about, bro. I think the credentials of the skill players and the confidence that I have in Pep Hamilton's offensive mind, I have no problem with that aspect. It's the guys up front. That to me is the key. You know, and until they get better in that way, it's going to be tough. Which again brings me back to Indiana. How did they get this tough offensive line in one season when Maryland has had what we thought were tough men up front for years, and they just continue to take the big beat downs in big games from the big teams.
Yeah, well, I do like the fact that they also did focus on the trenches and some of the transfers. Defensively, they got this kid Cam Rice, 6'3", 290, who played at Ohio University. That's not Ohio State. That's the Green School for those who don't know.
Yeah,
In the MAC conference, and West Liberty, 6'3", 290. That's a
in
massive
Ohio
front.
University.
Yeah, they are, and then there's like Cedric Smith, a 6'4", 280, transfer from Alabama A&M. You have another Joel Starling, a 6'4", 320, defensive tackle lineman from North Carolina. So they decided to supplement a lot of their. One thing Maryland didn't do well is stop anybody. I mean, even when they
No,
played well offensively,
right.
the
You're
fact
right.
they couldn't,
You're right.
they couldn't stop anything. They couldn't, catch a cold. They
And
couldn't do anything with it.
and Chuck, the real difficulty was they didn't have anybody on either end. You can't
Mm-hmm.
set your edges,
Mm-hmm.
unless you got two, dogs, if you will, on each side. And
Mm-hmm.
Maryland, I mean, has no bark, no bite, or hasn't. I mean, stopping teams. That front four has been beaten up and brutalized, quite frankly, in key moments in big games in the conference. And every conference game counts right now, man. And that's the mentality that you have to have, in my opinion, to win in this league. And I'm not quite sure Maryland's there. I think that could be the difference to me. And we'll talk about it later, how they're rated or they're ranked. But I think if they get that aspect fixed, their analytic goes up 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the skill players that they have, it flips the dynamic of the team. I'm really interested in seeing how that mix. And as we get closer to football season, there are going to be certain things that we'll be looking for throughout the course of the season. And we'll put it out there for you.
Yeah, and one player I am actually really interested in seeing how he works when it comes to short to goal plays, short yards to goal plays, is the 6'7", 225 wide receiver Jordan Scott, transferring from Southern Mississippi Community College. He was ranked the number 6 overall in ESPN's Junior College Top 50, and the number 2 overall JUCO wide receiver. And 6'7", 225-pound receiver in the red zone. That's going to be something that I don't think any defense in the Big Ten can stop that, because that's just one of those players who can just be like, oh, just jump ball every time, boom, 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 jump ball, jump ball, jump ball. He could be like a Mike Evans type, a Calvin Johnson type, or just like they're just so much physically bigger than the person trying to defend them. That's gonna make the play easier for them to make in the end zone.
Well, you make a good point there, Chuck. I think it was Bear Bryant that used to say, if my biggins are faster than your biggins, then we got a better chance. And I think, if, or something to that effect. And to me, that's what it is, man. The things, the principles that you could try to compete with when you're playing ACC football do not work as a Big Ten team. And it's a mentality, and it's a philosophical approach from the top that starts with really your president and your athletic director, and then the general manager of the program. That's it. So I think they got the infrastructure part right. You got to hit on the talent. Mm-hmm. And and one of the things I think they've identified is you got to have the kind of money, right, to compete to get the talent these days. It's almost as much about the Benjamins as it is about the program, if not more. So one would think that an infusion of money gives you a few more difference-making players, and hopefully you turn the corner. I think there's improvements probably on the coaching staff that certainly will make the offense a little bit better. But if you can't stop nobody, I mean, look, this is what makes the Big Ten, at the very least, the second toughest conference, because in America, top to bottom, because you got the vacillation between the SEC and the big teams. But it's the approach, number one, right? Understanding what you got to do to beat the next guy. If they spending $800,000, you got to spend $1 million. But most importantly, man, it has to have a kind of like, how when you're planting seeds and you put the fertilizer and the water in, and you just keep, digging them up, making them, growing. I think that's where Maryland's got to get better at, and I think they can do it. I just don't know what success would look like in these early stages. They say when you're taking a job, one of the questions people ask, want to hear from you is, what does success look like for you in a year? And I'm trying to come up with an idea of what that would look like for me. Mike Locksley could win 8 games and be in the position to compete at least for a spot in the college football playoffs. That would look successful. Making a run at that. Now, if you land, and if that lands you in a really cool bowl game, where you don't get dumped with mayonnaise all the time, it would be all right. At least to me.
Well, the thing is, the money helps you make up for your mistakes. So we can't.
That is true.
The money, that's what it is. Like, if we miss on a couple prospects, a couple recruits, boom, hey, we got more money in the bank to make up for that mistake. It's kind of how, if you look at Major League Baseball, how the Dodgers can just like, oh, we missed this guy. Well, we'll prorate his contract, and then we'll go get somebody else. No big deal. We'll overpay for somebody just because we can. But it's another thing is, EA Sports is a name that people of my generation and younger have grown up with. It comes to like get to know your sports, get to know your college, get to know your pros, get to know your sports. So when we come back, we're going to talk about EA Sports and how. We'll just talk about EA Sports. Let's leave it at that. Stay tuned.
You can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link, and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact, just like whatever link you use right now. No difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the voice of college football.
Support the voice of college football.
That's
Use
right.
that link. Use that link. Okay. Like I said before, we had to give a little, cheap plug there to our Amazon league. EA Sports is known for its huge huge sports video game franchises such as FIFA, Madden. Recently,
Tiger
the
Woods.
Tiger Woods golf. Now it's just PGA golf, but they used to be
Yeah, I
called
know.
Tiger Woods golf. Recently, we just had the return, the second season of college football in EA Sports after the settlement of all the lawsuits and the NIL stuff like that. They brought back probably the best football game between Madden and the college games. Usually, because there's more things to do. There's more opportunities. There's more ways to play the game. You have so many more options. You can go to. You can try to play the big school and keep your history, your program going forever. You can try to go to a small school, mid-major, and try to make it move up to level. So
It's too
that's
busy for me. It
Yeah.
just is. I'm so old right now. I just can't. Well, I got to create a player and I got to get recruited, and then you got to. I just want to play the game. That's
Yeah,
it. I don't want much. I don't need any player. I
Yeah.
want to play the game. Okay.
That was the old slogan for EA Sports. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Get in the game. Yes.
Now, however,
There's some get in the game when you playing the game. Dude, this is too much. Too much. I gotta train before I can play in a game. No, I want to plug it up, however they do it these days, and go right to competing. Not training.
You can still do that. You can still just play. You can still just play, a exhibition game or create a season or whatever. That's what I'm saying. There's so many different ways you can do it. But I was looking earlier. We brought this up earlier about Maryland players' rankings on EA Sports. Now I'm gonna have to share this page because I can't believe how stupid EA Sports is when it comes to how they rank stuff. So I went to EA Sports College Football 26, and I was like, okay, let's see how Maryland looks. So let's go share. I'm sharing this for you folks here.
All right.
Okay. I go to filter. I'm gonna see where Maryland ranks. Okay, this is all the players. We want to go to filter. Let's filter by conference. Let's go down to the Big Ten. Maryland's in the Big Ten, correct? 10 teams. Let's see. Illinois, yes. Indiana, yes. Iowa, yes. Iowa State, Michigan. Maryland should be right here, alphabetical order,
it should
right?
be under Iowa State.
Yeah, exactly.
But actually, Iowa State is not in the Big Ten. It's
that's right. They're the Big 12. That's another mistake. Good eye there. You caught that one. Yeah, and look at all these. First of all, esports. How did someone not? There's no one in your research department that knows how to correct these things. Now, I wanted to find out about Maryland. Where's Maryland? I don't know. Let's go look for Maryland. I know they used to be in the ACC, so let's see what.
They've been in the ACC for like 10 years, bro.
No way, Maryland. Man. It's like Maryland. Like what?
Are you sick? What?
Maryland is right behind.
Wow.
This is pathetic. EA Sports. This is so pathetic.
Like, that's egregious, man.
I can understand it was the first year they transferred over. But it's been over a decade the fact that Maryland's been in the Big Ten and you still have them listed. And I said, you think I'm just saying, oh, this is a fraudulent site. No, look right there. It's EA.com/games/EA-sports-college-football-rankings.
Well, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that this is the beta testing. Mm-hmm. They're still figuring it out. I mean, because the game is not released until now. Right?
Yeah, it's supposed to come out. It comes out this week, I think.
I have nothing further for this defense. I try. Wow. But even with this, Chuck, I mean, you closer to the age of when I was just emotionally connected to video gaming. If you rate it at 77 these days, what is that? Good, bad, or somewhere in the middle? Because that's what they say about Maryland. As a team, they're 77. What does that mean?
Well, that to me means it is you are what's the word I'm looking for? You are a competent player. You would probably be a 3-star recruit if you're 77.
So
Uh,
Maryland is given a 3-star chance at being any good by EA Sports.
yes, yes.
Now,
So
is there any statistical analysis to the predictions of EA Sports in regular season? I mean, do we know
I mean,
how they
they
get
usually
right?
you have to go off of I guess last year's performance. So you can't really rake the incoming class outside of if you. I know they used to have people who would go out and do for each school and get the measurables of these players, and before they had the NIL stuff where they had like player 17 runs on speed 97, and so they would just have to look at you know their workouts and comparing game footage, and it's like, okay, it looks like he's fast. We'll make him fast or whatever. It makes him slow. But Maryland as overall 77, that's not bad. I mean, I mean, that's was a high C. Not to drink, but the grade a high C.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm again. I just don't understand this anymore. I just don't. So at 77, we should have hope because we
Yeah.
all know how the analytics of these video games do. I'd have to say three at the very least, 3.5 out of every 5 times is somewhere near correct.
Hmm.
So if you're at 77 based upon last year, and I don't have a benchmark of knowing where the team was last year at this time as far as their ranking was concerned. So if you ask me, Chuck, if 77 is a good place to work from, then I think you have to start thinking about 8 or 9 games won as a legitimate uh, goal. But you got to win the first 3 games, the games at the top of the season. When you can't afford like a Towson. You can't
Northern,
afford,
Northern Illinois
yeah,
or Florida Atlantic. You can't lose. You
Florida
can't lose
Atlantic.
either of those 3 games.
Florida Atlantic's a dangerous game, though, man.
Hmm.
First off, the Heat's not going to get to them.
Hmm.
Second of all, they're going to be extremely fast, and I think that game right there will let you know a lot about just how physical Maryland is in the trenches. Because that game is, and I'm just going to lay it on. I don't even know what conference FAU is in. Um, but Maryland should have a size advantage, and they're at home, and they should be able to wear them down, which is the way the Big Ten teams tend to play most schools from the South. And I think that's the mentality that has to be imposed on this team right now. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to go out strap up. They're not supposed to beat us. And I'd like to see Maryland handle that game with a certain amount of efficiency with the moving parts that they have now, new quarterback, new parts on the offensive line. I wonder will I see that, and will the mistakes that are made be because of inexperience and time to gel together, or whether they're overmatched? And to me, I think a lot of things are going to be answered in that game about the long-term projection of that team. I don't think that's going to be the best that they'll play during the course of a season, but we're going to answer some things with that Florida Atlantic game because Florida Atlantic is going to come up here. They're going to have a game plan and they're going to look to spread the ball around. I just don't think they'll have enough horses, and Maryland should handle them. If they struggle, then that's definitely going to raise my eyebrow in the wrong direction.
That's true. Like I said, those Florida teams. It's really weird. Florida Atlantic is in 3 conferences. I just now looked it up. They are in the American Athletic Conference. Looks like for the big sports, and it looks like they're in Conference USA as well. So, well, interesting how they can do that. But that's another
Well,
conversation another
and
day.
I guess you're in different conferences for different sports when your conference doesn't have that sport.
Probably,
That's
probably that makes
probably
sense.
what's going on down there. So again, I think they're going to have a lot of speed. That's going to be an interesting game to watch because Florida schools, they're built on speed. And the great ones like the U teams and the Florida State teams and even University of Florida have always had speed and size, physicality, and FAU is not there. Probably a notch below Central Florida. But that's going to be an interesting matchup, man. I'll be interested to see if Maryland is business-like in their approach. It's a home game. You set the tone at the crib. This opponent, I don't want to say it's inferior, but somebody that you should handle if you're in the conference that has the pedigree of the Big Ten. That's a big pelt for them. And I think Mike Locksley understands that and understands the danger of it. So he and Pep will have them prepared. The question is, will the kids be prepared because it's their first time together? You know, that gel thing. And see, that's the interesting quandary about the portal, Chuck. You know, it's like you get these phenomenal talents that come in and come out. They move like revolving doors, if you will. So rarely, if ever, do you get a chance to totally gel. So you have to gel on the fly, and it's hard to gel in practice. I mean, you get to know people, you know what you're supposed to do, but game day is a totally different day when you're facing those bullets. And I'm anxious to see with all this transfer stuff that comes around how it's going to work out.
You talking about practice, not actual game. You talking about practice.
Not the game. We're talking about practice. No, I'm talking about the game. The game. I'm not talking about practice. Okay.
Yeah,
we see a lot of superstars in practice. I'm talking about, can you be a superstar in the game?
It's in the EA Sports. It's in the game.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. But we got some
right
other.
Stats aren't. Go ahead.
Oh, let's say EA. But back to EA. The big monster. It might be brought down soon with this. Their exclusive rights to NFL football being expires in 2026, and how much money they're going to bring in, and how much money will NCAA bring in with the same kind of thing, same kind of contract, since they're trying to do
Is it still called NCAA football?
This is called college football.
Oh, okay, cool. I was going to say because
it's called EA Sports College Football 26. So it's not NC2A anymore. It's just college football. So I'm thinking that college football is its own entity. It's not even part of NCAA anymore. But yeah, that's interesting how that's something.
That's true.
That's something that
I used to be reluctant to come to that assumption. I thought that there was oversight and policing, and about the only thing they're good for these days is those quickie statistics that you get in between quarters right now. That's it. I mean, well, and they do have the tournament, the men's and women's basketball tournament, and college
and college World Series, which is also always phenomenal.
It is.
But I'm interested to see what the Robert Smith College of Business would do when it comes to trying to get these licensing rights for Maryland players to be used on these games. Like that's like another point of revenue they were talking about. Hey, and that, you know what, that can also be another motivation for the players. It's like no one wants to be rated low in Madden. You've seen the videos.
Yeah, man, that's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, like he wants to see the ratings on Madden or whatever, and they get like how am I 93? He a 96. What? You know. But we're going to talk a little bit.
You got on campus, fool.
But we're going to talk a bit more about what else is happening in Maryland athletics right after.
You can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link, and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact, just like whatever link you use right now. No difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the Voice of College Football.
That's it. Support us. Support.
Yeah. We all need a little support these days.
Like, share, subscribe. All those buttons you see underneath there, click them all.
Yeah, all up.
Thumbs up, share, and subscribe. All right. So Maryland is not just a sports school. Maryland is a school of like everything. You know, we win awards and everything outside of sports. So one thing I want to talk about is outside of the team of the years. We'll talk about this a little bit, but Maryland won the outstanding academic achievement awards for student athletes in Maryland, spring summer 25. We have top cumulative team GPA is a tennis team at 3.677. Top semester GPA is women's cross country at 3.66. So think about like the fact that these kids are out there busting their butt every day to be the best they can be at their sport, and having to go take classes and do whatever. I think technology has made it a lot easier for the kids to do that with Zoom, so that you don't have to be in the classroom to get your classwork done. You can do it while you're on the road. So like Zoom and all those other video chatting services help the students stay on top of their classes, their coursework, compared to like previous generations. So how's that?
I'll just say this to your point about AI. AI doesn't come with discipline. And you still got to be a master of your own personal discipline to succeed as a student athlete, which is why I've always been a proponent that they should have been, way back in the day, getting work study money. You know, you can't have, because the sacrifices that you have to make under the scholarship can leave you in a place where you can't make any money. So I've always been about that. So now that the paradigm has shifted, and again, I think it has a lot to do more with the absence of vision of the NCAA. But they got theirs, and now the players can get theirs, and we'll see how it looks in the next 20 years.
Check this out. In a standout semester, 39 student athletes posted a perfect 4.0 GPA. 162 earned Dean's List recognition as a 3.5. Overall, 330 student athletes are on the honor roll, athletic honor roll with a 3.0 or better GPA. That is, like I said, that's as someone.
Oh, Terrapins athletes go to class.
Yeah, they're not just dumb jocks.
Yeah.
So men's lacrosse had 18 on the Dean's List, women's soccer 18, women's track and field 17, women's lacrosse 13, football had 11. So hey, people always talk about football players. They had 11 players on the Dean's List. Volleyball 11.
You have to be totally ignorant to think that a football player at any level is dumb. All right, you try to remember a playbook.
Yes.
Why you taking 15 credits? All right, let's just go there.
ZXY, R route, Z23X on 3 break.
Yeah,
what the hell did you just say? You speak English?
Right. That's it. That's the whole thing. And each team has plays, it's just another side. You got to be disciplined enough to practice. You got to remember the plays. You got to execute in the moment. Being a student athlete is not just some dude that's picking up a check while playing sports and front like he's getting or she is front like they're getting a degree right now. It's not going down for real like that. And I do think the players, if they use the resources, are better off today when they get these perks because of the infrastructure that allows for the schools to help them set up their post-life business accounts and stuff like that. So, I'm glad that the market has somehow self-corrected itself in the direction of student athletes, because so many in the past were ripped out so long.
And also, I want to show this little here. Maryland Athletics win 3 Capital Emmy Awards. So it's like, this is one thing that people forget about, like what sports like. It gives these kids opportunities to, hey, you might not be a sports person, but being in the media, having sports in your school helps you practice your skills of storytelling, interviewing, et cetera, and so on. So the fact that these 2 kids, Maryland Athletics has now won 12 Capital Emmy Awards over the past 4 years.
Wow.
So that's
Shouts out to my man Joey Yasharoff on the crew. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Maryland not only produces. That's another thing.
We gotta get Joey on the show too. So he and I can argue.
Yeah, I'll just sit back and let y'all have it.
Yeah.
But that's impressive that 12 in the past 4 years, 3 years. That's pretty impressive. So that's like
it is, man. And real talk, not to just be embellishing here. I'm only dealing with facts. When you talk about people who are hitting hard in the game right now, Maryland J School. I mean, let's start with Van Pelt. Right, let's just go right there. the
Yes.
Dominique Foxworths of the world. Vernon Davis has had some shine and some things off the field involving acting and stuff like that. Frank Isola, a Maryland guy. Keeping it real with you, man. To be able to go into a program academically that is at the standard of preparing people for that next career path when they go into be pros in something other than sports. Maryland's at the top of the list, man. And you think about the conference. You got the heavyweight players in the game mostly have come from Big Ten schools, unless they went to like UNC. You know what I'm saying? You got Northwestern. It's a heck of a school as far as journalism is concerned. Alumni including the great Michael Wilbon and Mike Greenberg, who I used to work with. So, hey, man, that's impressive stuff. And that's what you call maximizing your opportunity for your student athletes. And that's as big a selling point as the fact that you can get to the next level. And don't take the progressive nature of this for granted, because there are places and states around the country that wouldn't have opportunities for their student athletes. Those kids are being paid their NIL money to stay eligible and win games. Where you can say over here, kids are taking their NIL money and also learning a skill so that they can be productive citizens. And that's really what the game of intercollegiate athletics is supposed to be about.
That's true. And one more thing I want to talk about is the Terp Awards, athletic awards. I'm gonna bring up this little web page here.
Okay.
The Maryland Athletic Awards. It's the Terrapin Cup, which is like, team of the year is going to be obviously the men's lacrosse team. They made to the finals of the NCAA men's lacrosse tournament. They've won the team of the year 4 out of the past 5 years.
Well, when you're playing for championships in the national title game for the last 5 years, they might want to put the what do they call it, the Terrapin Cup,
yes,
named in honor of the lacrosse team. My goodness, big ups, my guys.
And we have the John Wee Guxon Award, which is most outstanding male athlete of the year. I wonder who could have been. Who could have been? I don't know. Could have been our boy Derek Queen.
Could have been.
Yeah, well, he won the most outstanding male athlete of the year. Susan, the Tyler Award, most outstanding female athlete of the year, goes to Corey Edmondson of the field of the women's lacrosse team. We have male rookie of the year, obviously. Maryland obviously had Derek Queen who win the male rookie of the year. Female rookie of the year goes to our young lady Kayla Gilmore. Congratulations to her. We scroll down here to breakthrough male athlete of the year, who was Ty Felton, who was drafted by the Minnesota. I almost say Minnesota Twins, Minnesota Vikings. Who I think might, with a side note, him playing with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison at wide receiver. That's
a great landing place for him.
And if JJ McCarthy ends up being the guy they thought he was going to be, that receiving core, those 3 guys together would be almost unstoppable, and Minnesota might have a chance of winning the.
And that gives him an opportunity to work in the slot as he learns to bigger receive, and him as a slot receiver with his speed and shiftiness early on is only going to make him a better receiver if he ever goes back to the outside. That is a great fit for Ty Felton.
Yeah, and we have
don't get no breaks from an injury standpoint.
Yeah, that's true. Breakthrough female athlete is Samantha Schnitka, women's volleyball. She's dominated there. Male coach of the year, John Tillman, who, obviously because
they may end up naming that cup after him one day.
Exactly.
All he does is get to the Final Four.
Yeah, women's coach of the year, no big surprise. Coach Freeze. She's on that almost GOAT level when it comes to being one of the best women's coaches out there in the game.
She's Hall of Fame.
Yeah. This is the Founders Award. Female student athlete whose extraordinary commitment and dedication serves as inspiration to teammates, coaches, and fellow student athletes is Zhu Wang of the women's volleyball team.
Okay.
The Talbot T. Spear Award is for the male student athlete who's the same thing as the commitment and dedication to serve and inspire teammates, coaches, and fellow students goes to Eric Albright. He's
Wow.
for the Maryland track team. The Charles P. McCormick Award, which goes to a senior athlete from the state of Maryland who contributes the most to athletics, and Julian Reese.
All right, hold up. Hey, Wizard, grab Julian Reese. Okay.
Yes.
Grab Julian Reese now. All right. Stop with the madness. Grab him now. You let Derek Queen get away. He's another homie from round the way. We all know where the upside is. Be smart. At the very least, make it a two-way contract. But get Juju Reese. Because Juju's gonna make a couple dollars in the NBA, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't understand why he didn't get drafted and we haven't seen him in the summer league.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Smith, Juju Smith, did I say Juju Smith? I meant Juju Reese.
Juju Reese, right?
Yeah, I don't know if Juju Smith shoots in my head all of a sudden. Juju Reese. I'm going to go topic here, but the amount of hate his sister gets online is atrocious. You saw, I meant to bring this up in our last segment about the EA Sports segment, but she was on the women representative on the cover of 2K basketball. Basketball, Angel Reese, and all of the. And sometimes I scroll through my feeds and I see some stuff posted about her, like, oh, Angel Reese did this and this. And then in the comments, I'm seeing some of the most sexist, racist, nastiest comments about her. And it's quite disturbing. And I just want to say, people who do that, get a life. Like you could talk all this crazy trash behind your keyboard, but we know, which I know there's one the positives of technology and the negatives. Negatives is people have the keyboard warriors out there who like to, flex their chest.
If I can piggyback on what you were saying, and I think some former underachieving quarterbacks ought to stay out of it too. There might be a reason that they're in the broadcast booth wearing their braids these days when they continue to race bait unnecessary argument between Reese and Caitlin Clark. So I would.
Are you talking about that cornball brother?
I'll just say this: maybe if he untwists his fake hairdo and stop trying to look hard, he might have enough brain flow in his head to recognize how simple he looks and he's fanning the flames of racism. And as a person in his position, he has to know better than that because he's on my side of the street now, and we've carried ourselves a certain way for 30 years, and we don't have a room for a voice like that.
No, that cornball brother needs to. I don't want to go there, but I might just have to go there and tell him he loves playing the snow way too much. But that's something for another day.
Yeah,
I can go more than that. Back on another day. Love you, love. Don't want to talk trash about that, but at the same time, it's like he's said some things in the past. It's like,
well, to me, really, it just comes down to fanning the fuels of racism in this time in our country's history, and we don't need that. We need to be coming together, and his rhetoric is divisive, contentious, manipulative, and God knows in the weakened world of critical thinking that we live in now, who knows what that could lead to, man. You got just chill and keep it moving.
Media literacy and media etiquette is something that's gone by the wayside. I think this is like you can't. You can be critical and respectful at the same time. It's not. It
doesn't have to get personal.
It's like chewing gum and walking. You can do two things at once. So I understand why you're allowed to be like bringing up like that cornball brother keeps bringing up stories like they hate each other. Blah blah blah. It's like
no, they don't.
They probably don't. Like, they hate the bad attention. Like yes.
Well, you know what it is. You got your boys that you compete toughest against. And in the heat of the moment, y'all have y'all moment. After the game, you hug it out. Y'all may go grab a cold one, a bite to eat or something like that. But in that moment, it just looks that way. And for dudes like that, man, and really, it speaks on his level of sexism because you're taking away from the beauty of the sport when you create unnecessary friction, tension, and controversy. Now, wait till somebody else throws an elbow or take a shot like they did last year. I think the girl that used to play for the Sky, I get you on that. But this is relentless, man. And the fact that you got, people from her tribe, if you will, on her back like that, that's just, that's a bitter pill to swallow.
And I don't know if you want to look at this, but apparently, Angel Reese's stream percentage is higher than Caitlin Clark's. But I
He's what?
digress. Her shooting percentage is a little higher than Caitlin Clark's right now because Caitlin's having a down year. And why
Well,
is no one talking
Caitlin's
about?
been hurt in all fairness, though.
Yeah,
So
and
let's
why
give
is
it
no
a
one talking
full
about
credit.
Paige Buckets? Paige Buckets is having a better year rookie year than Caitlin Clark, but everyone wants to talk about Caitlin Clark. And Paige Buckets is white, so I don't get it. That's like your golden goose out there, cornball. But I digress. But it's been a great time.
Yeah,
I have to get ready to go slang some drinks for the unwashed masses out there and have them enjoy a great evening of bartending by your boy Charles Younger here at Chadwick's. If you are in the DC metro area, the DMV, swing by 203 Strand Street in Alexandria in Old Town. Swing by, say hello to your boy, and you can follow me on all the
he
socials.
poured
And
good.
you can see it there in the lower third at Charles Younger. That's what's spelled out for you. CharlesNynga. And if you don't see this gorgeous face, it's not me. It's a imposter. So, and Mark, tell them where they can follow you, OG.
At the Sports Groove, simply put, everywhere. If you got it, I got it. I got this. I made the biggest social media mistake of my life the other day. I ended up not only getting this Snapchat thing.
I saw
Um, yeah,
that.
and this I can't figure out how to turn off the alerts, and
Oh
it's
yeah, it's
yeah,
annoying. Yeah,
I'm too old for this, man. I'll be 60 next year. I just
we got
I want my face back.
hey, that's my goal. Bring back MySpace. And are you changing your name to Murtaugh now? You're too old for this stuff.
Yeah. I guess I am. Sometimes you got to know your role. When you're used to playing like 40 minutes and now you got only a good 25, you got to maximize the 25, bro. That's where I am right now. And
All right.
Snapchat is too much for me.
Yeah, it gets a little much after a while, but
Yeah.
for Maryland Live on the Voice of College Football, I've been Charles Yoga, and this has been Sergeant Murtaugh over here, bringing it to you.
Hey, tell
And
them,
we
man,
will,
we got some great content on our baseball website,
yes,
MLBpro.com. Don't forget,
yes,
we are announcing the HBCU all-time team for
that's
Major
right,
League Baseball
that's right.
on a
Check it out.
computer, smartphone, tablet, however you get your groove on, MLBpro.com.
MLBbro.com. Like I said, check it out. And we got all the bros in the All-Star game, all the bros in the home run derby.
James Wood,
James Wood, local boy,
bring it home,
right
dog.
from right down the street in Olean,
Yeah.
Maryland. He's going to be in the All-Star game home run derby. So tune into that. Support James Wood if you are a DMV local. Even if you're in Baltimore, you don't have much over there to root for. So
Yeah.
come on down to root for my team stinks too. So I got to root for the Nationals because that's I would say
That's your default. Yes.
that's my backup team. When my team's on, I root for the Nats. So even though the Nats
It's tough being me. It's tough me being the one that likes both teams on either side of the parkway and have no
yeah.
problem with either one of them having the success at the expense of the other. They're both bad.
Yeah.
It's
But
a long season for your boy.
Well, the O's did make a great trade for getting a first round pick for a mid reliever, but I got to digress. Like I said, this has been another great show of Maryland Live at the Voice of College Football. I am Charles Young along with Professor G, Murtaugh, Mark Gregg. We will see you next week. Like I said, we are 49 days away from kickoff of Maryland football. So set your watches now, synchronize watches, and we'll see you next week around 2 p.m. on Friday. Deuces, everybody.
Peace.